Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
I think most people in general, anytime it comes to a struggle or they start struggling, goes, I don't know if I really want to do this. But I think through racquetball, I really learned that the struggle was real for me in racquetball. I mean, it wasn't an easy thing. And a lot of people say, oh, he's a world champ. But on my way to being a world champ was super hard. I mean, I had like 1 year that I decided to quit school. It was hard because my parents are educators and they're like, they don't want me to quit school. And my dream for my grandparents, or their dream for me, was to be a doctor or a dentist, which was along the lines of what I would have done if I went to school, and also play baseball at University of Hawaii, which I had a pre-scholarship to do that. And my first year in college at UH, I decided I don't want to play baseball anymore, and I was going to go for it on racquetball. So I quit school, and then I moved to California. And then that whole first year, I lost every single match. And back then, it was 3 games, 3 out of 5 to 11 points. So that's 5. If you go tiebreaker, you got 5 games. I went 3 games. I lost 3 games every single match. And I traveled over 100,000 miles on United alone to get to all the different, racquetball tournaments. And man, I lost every single one. But at the end of that year, I was like, I'm done. I'll go back to school because I gave it all I got. And, that's one of the things I believe is that if you go for it and you fail, you can live with it. But if you don't go for it and then you start thinking to yourself, like, I wonder if, and 10 years, 15 years, 20 years later, you still see people saying, or I still hear people saying, oh, if I did that, I would have been here, or I would have been there, and I would have, should have, could have, if, and I never wanted to live like that. Anyway, going back to that story, I had quit racquetball. I came home after the last racquetball tournament, and I broke all my rackets on the curb, threw it in a rubbish can, and then literally, maybe I want to say like 6 hours after that, I got a phone call from the U.S. team coach, and he goes, hey, Egan, you want to come be an alternate for the U.S. team in the World Championships? And I was like, oh my gosh, that was my dream. And then I thought, oh, alternate. How are you going to be a world champ being an alternate? And my dad looks at me, he goes, what the heck's wrong with you? You're such a punk. I go, why am I a punk? He goes, that's all you wanted to do, to get to the World Championships, and you get the chance now and you don't want to go. And the team coach goes, you know what? And, back then it didn't have internet and, no cell phone. So it was on a regular phone. And so he said, you know what? The U.S. Olympic Committee got a ticket for you under your name at the Honolulu airport. It's a 10 o'clock flight, red eye to Florida. So hopefully you get on it. And I was like, all right, I'll let you know, coach. And then my dad talks to me and tells me all that kind of stuff. And I'm going, oh my gosh, Dad. And nothing against cheerleaders, but I was like, I'm not a cheerleader. I'm not going to go up there to cheer my teammates on. I want to win the World Championship. So if I'm an alternate, there's no chance. And I was second alternate. Anyway, I ended up jumping on the plane. I get there, and now I'm first alternate because one guy got hurt. By the next morning when competition started, I was playing. I woke up in the morning, and the coach goes, you ready, Egan? I'm like, what? Ready? Yeah, for what?
Well, what rackets did you have?
So what happened was, because I had all broken rackets, the company I was playing with, Ectalon at the time, they sent me all brand new rackets. I had like 10 brand new rackets waiting at the place when I got there. So I had all these new rackets to play with too. And I was playing. And, that year I ended up winning the World Championships. That was my first world title that I ever won.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.